Have you ever thought that serving in the military could actually be a secret weapon for building wealth? Well, in this explainer, we're diving into the story of how one sailor turned their time in the Navy into an incredible financial launchpad, going from anchors to assets.
Yeah, it's a super common belief, right? That military life, with all its deployments and unique demands, just isn't the right place to build a fortune. But what if that whole idea is just wrong?
We're going to follow a journey that completely flips that notion on its head. It reveals how military service can be the absolute best foundation for financial success you could ask for.
Okay, so let's get right into it and tackle this myth head-on. The story really kicks off with a single, incredibly powerful choice.
Just think about that for a second. It wasn't some huge career change or winning the lottery. It was just one decision: to start investing. That was the pivot point. It really shows you the kind of impact you can have by just starting right where you are with whatever you've got.
So how did this all begin? You might think it started with a big inheritance or a deep background in finance, but nope. It was way more relatable than that.
You see, the whole journey started with simple curiosity. There was no special expertise, no grand plan, just an interest in the stock market and a real willingness to learn from scratch while on the job. And honestly, that's the real starting point for pretty much anyone.
And this was the key insight. It wasn't about having a ton of money to throw around. It was about having a ton of time. Time is the secret ingredient that lets compound growth work its magic. You know, where your money starts making its own money, that's the real game changer.
And this chart right here, this is that aha moment in visual form. I mean, just look at the unbelievable difference a single decade makes. Starting at 20 versus 30, even with the exact same contributions, creates this massive gap in potential growth. It's proof that when you're young, time is literally your most valuable asset.
And listen, this wasn't about dropping some huge windfall into the market all at once. It was all about the simple, almost boring discipline of consistency. Small, steady contributions, month after month. That's the engine that really builds financial momentum over the long haul.
But here's where the story gets really interesting. What is the special advantage, the edge that a military member has that most civilians just don't?
Think about the fundamentals of military life. Structure, stability, a steady paycheck. A lot of people just see these as part of the job, right? But they're actually the perfect ingredients for a powerful investment strategy. They create a financial bedrock that's hard to find anywhere else.
Okay, this comparison makes the advantage crystal clear. A typical civilian's paycheck gets chewed up by rent, food, healthcare, and all the basics before they can even think about investing. But for a service member, since those big needs are often covered, a huge chunk of their income is totally freed up. It's a unique opportunity to funnel that money directly into building wealth.
And this is how military training translates directly into financial success. That discipline you learn in the service, following protocols, repeating missions, staying the course, it's the exact same discipline you need for consistent investing. It's a perfect transfer of skills.
But you know, the benefits weren't just about the money. The act of investing itself taught skills that would last a lifetime, long after leaving the service.
Just look at this list. This is so much more than a financial education. It's like a masterclass in leadership and strategy. You learn the patience to wait for growth, the risk management to avoid silly mistakes, and the foresight to think in terms of decades, not just days. These skills are absolutely invaluable no matter what you do in life.
And this, right here, is the core takeaway. The biggest return on investment wasn't actually the money. It was a completely new mindset. Investing became a new lens for seeing the world, for spotting potential, and for making smarter, more strategic decisions about everything.
So where did this new way of thinking lead? Well, the journey definitely didn't stop after active duty was over.
This timeline really shows the incredible power of building that foundation. Leaving the service wasn't some scary leap into the unknown. It was a transition from a position of real strength. The financial buffer, and even more importantly, that investor's mindset, paved the way for becoming an entrepreneur. One mission led directly to the next.
So, what does this whole story mean for you? Well, it all boils down to a very clear, very simple call to action.
This is rule number 1. No question. Don't wait around for the perfect time, because it doesn't exist. The sooner you start, the more time you have on your side, and time is your greatest ally.
Seriously, you do not need a fortune to get going.
Building the habit of investing is way more important than the amount you start with. Consistency will always, always beat a large, one-time investment.
Ultimately, it all comes down to this one simple word: start. Just begin. Take that first step. The momentum you build from that single action can literally change the entire direction of your life.
And please, let this be the idea that really sticks with you. The discipline, the focus, the strategic thinking you're developing right now in your service, those are the raw materials for your future success, both in and out of uniform.
So, as we wrap this up, I'll just leave you with that question to chew on. Your service provides a totally unique foundation. The real question is, what are you going to choose to build on it?